Easy there, young bison. It's Scott Beebe. And it's time for the Business on Purpose podcast, where we're here to liberate you from the chaos of working in your business. I might just make the mariachi music a staple of the podcast for a little while. I don't know. I just have so much fun with that. Doesn't it just make you smile when you hear that? Hey, had a great question from a small business owner yesterday in our conference room. Sat down, was frustrated, irritated, and this was the question. When is it time to just have the come to Jesus meeting? And I said, easy there. Let's slow down. Let's back up, as we often do, because we don't want to allow emotion to rule good leadership. And so we came away with this, and this is what I want to encourage you to do. You want to run in and have that emotional, one-time, impactful watershed moment, right? Dang it. And you want to be able to be on there, look back and go, I took him into a room and I pounded my fist on the table, and he's been great since. She's been great since. The reality is, that is the rare exception. The truth is, Abraham Lincoln's speech 7 years ago means nothing without the years and hours and days and weeks and months of preparation for the speech. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech means nothing without the minutes, the hours, the days, the weeks, the months, the years of groundwork being laid for that watershed moment of the speech. We all look back at the speech, but we forget about the groundwork that's laid. When do I have the come to Jesus meeting? Let's back up. First question I have for you is, if you've got a challenging situation with a team member and you feel like you need to have a come to Jesus meeting, number one, do you have the role written down? Come on, Scott. I roll. No, Jim, Sue, you got to start there. I don't know how else to say it. You got to start there. Writing things down is crucial, because without the documentation, it is virtually impossible to spread with any consistency. There's oral tradition, I get it, but the reality is we don't live in that world. They used to live in that world, but now we've got access to technologies that they didn't have access to. Write the role down, please. Spare yourself the misery. Spare them the misery. Write the role down. Okay, so Scott, then can I have the come to Jesus? No, not yet. You then have to coach the role. So you've got the role written down, but they don't know what it is yet. Well, Scott, they've been working here for 27 years. I don't care. That means that every day they've come in kind of half knowing what it is they're expected to do. And my guess is, if we had them write out their expectations and you write out your expectations of them, even after 5 years or 8 years or 27 years, they would be very different documents. Write the role out, coach the role. Scott, how do I coach the role? You sit down with them, you set a time, you set a place with great repetition, and you review the role, and you review the role, and you review the role over and over and over again. Okay, then nope, not yet. The processes that make up that role, do you have those written out yet? So let's say the role is your accountant. Let's say the role is your superintendent. All right, let's put it that way, a field manager superintendent. So you got the role written out, the 4 or 5 major things that they're responsible for, scheduling with all the processes underneath. They're responsible for customer service with all the processes underneath. So now, do you have those processes documented out, or are you actively documenting those processes out? Oh, good grief. Are you kidding me? You mean to tell me that I've got to take every little elementary remedial step of turn on computer, open QuickBooks? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm not doing it, though, for them necessarily. I'm doing it more so that if you lose them, they've got great capacity on what they've learned, but if you lose them, your ability to bring somebody else in and have them take over that spot will be really powerful. You've got to write the process out, and then, can we have the come to Jesus? No, one more step. You got to coach the process. Well, Scott, where do I coach the process? Your weekly team meeting. At the end of it, take about 5 to 10 minutes, take one process a week, coach it out. The process of entering new contacts in QuickBooks, the process of customer follow-up every week for job updates, the process of equipment maintenance, the process of fill in the blank, whatever it is. Write the role down, coach the role, write the processes down, coach the processes. If your team member then is not following through on exactly what they know they're supposed to do, the role, and exactly what the steps that they're supposed to do it in, the processes, then you can have the watershed moment. But you know what you'll start that moment with? You'll say, hey, I want to make sure that I've done everything that I can do to coach you right. Is there anything I've missed? That's right. You're going to take ownership. So you are going to be the one coming to Jesus, and then you're going to bring them along with you. Guys, please don't scream and yell. They're not listening. Please don't get all emotional and jump up and down. All they see is a 4th grade child. Write the role. Coach the role. Write the process. Coach the process. Rinse, repeat over and over and over and over and over again. And only then will you come to Jesus and you'll bring them with you. If you just tuned in on this podcast, you're like, is this a spiritual sermon? No, it's not. You need to go back and listen to the whole thing. And I think you'll understand. And I think you'll appreciate, guys, running a business is hard work. It's uphill. Your legs are going to be burning. You're going to be sweating. You're going to be breathing heavy. But it's worth it because you got the opportunity to serve with great capacity and lead other people. Go do it well. We'll see you mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision. Start there. We'll see you right here next time on the Business on Purpose podcast.